Welcome to PDR Tool Time. We want to take a moment to thank our sponsors that bring this great content to your listening ears week after week. B&D Tools, innovative PDR accessories for PDR professionals.
Agi Tools, the king of PDR accessories that get the job done.
CBDdirectoils.com. It's not marijuana, kids. It's perfectly legal relief for all your aches and pains. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is episode 195, PDR Tool Time, coming to you with another great rockin' episode. I'm your host, Vince D'Alessandro, along with Daniel Grom and the one and only Hudson Tanzi has graced us with his presence once again. So,
yes. I was going to be on last week's episode, but I was attacked with like this vicious migraine that I was like down for the count for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And kind of made me wish that I had some I don't have any CBD right now.
Oh, you're out, huh?
I'm out. So I don't.
Yeah.
And I sent you guys a message like, hey, what do y'all do for really nasty migraines? Because y'all are old and I'm not, and y'all probably experience that more than I do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And they were like, y'all were like, CBD, try CBD, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't have any CBD, so now I gotta figure that out.
I actually had a headache coming into the show, and I went and took some CBD oil before I got on here. And I'm feeling good now.
Are you really?
Also, it's when you get migraines, your tummy gets upset, and it's good to settle your tummy.
Yeah, the ice pack for me, like Daniel would suggest, ice pack and CBD, and I'm lay down for a half hour and I'm good to go.
Yeah, anybody out there, I've been suffering from migraines my whole life, since I was a little kid, but I went to a migraine headache clinic, and actually that's what they do is they tell you, they would test this on you, but you put an ice pack on the back of your neck and they give you pure oxygen. As an alternative, no drugs.
Because we all have oxygen laying around our house.
Well, they test this on you, and if it works for you, they give you a prescription for oxygen tanks. So,
very cool. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to be looking older than I actually am, walking around town with it strapped onto an oxygen tank.
Right. They have oxygen bars all around you.
I was about to say, isn't there like a trend there? Like there's a trend of like oxygen bars.
That's Vegas now. I don't think that's around here. I
not anymore.
Can't tell you.
It's out of trend.
It's out of trend. They used to have them at the malls and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the point of it?
It would have flavors. I never did it, but there was like flavors. You could get pina colada or strawberry or whatever.
So it was like vape before vape?
Exactly. Yes, that was the intro to vape. So
they do all kinds of crazy stuff down there in LA.
Yeah, well, a lot of those trends they start on the west.
The cold fusion thing where you get into a cold, cryotherapy.
Yeah, I did it. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I want to do that. Is that good?
Yeah.
You freeze your ass off?
Yeah, so you get in there with underwear and gloves on and wool socks, and then everything else is like fully exposed. And it's like 2.5 to 3 minutes of just you're in that chamber, and it's like negative something or other.
Well, just go to Vegas, the ice bar. Have you ever been in that bar at Vegas? It's pretty cool.
No.
It's a vodka bar. I think it's called the Ice Bar.
Yeah,
but you go into the freezer and they have furs and you throw the furs on and you go in there.
There's one in Florida, and we were talking about going to it at MTE one year.
Yeah, well, cool. No, I haven't done that, but I think the one that my neighbor goes to is a flotation tub. It's zero gravity.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't done that yet. Where you float in the salt water.
Yeah, and
I kind of want to do
complete
that
darkness.
Too.
I tried taking my wife on a date night to that the other day, and she was like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, we could just float in nothingness.
Right.
And she's like, no.
So. Yeah. Well, cool. So what's going on, guys? What's going on this week? Everyone having a good week and all that? We don't care. What's going on in the news? What's going on?
What I care more about is freaking John Renstrom at SEMA living it up, and we're over here looking at each other's ugly mugs while he's having a good time. So I think we should call him and ruin his good time.
Hey, that's a good idea. Well, we'll do that because this week
we need a live report from SEMA.
You know what? We'll get John on the phone for a live report. This week, myself and Hudson, we get to see each other down at PDR World Cup in Branson, Missouri.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't realize what Branson was. And so like anytime I mention Branson, like people have a thing for Branson, Missouri. They're like, "You're going to Branson?" I'm like, yeah, what's so special about Branson? Like, it's like Vegas of the Northeast. I'm like, oh, I had no clue. Like, yeah, it's amazing. I'm just like, oh, I literally had.
Does that come from people that have never been to Vegas though?
I don't know, but they say like it's almost like Dolly World too. Like it's like Dolly World, but
Yeah.
up there. I'm like, okay.
I think it's known for like country music and stuff, right? Branson?
Dolly Parton.
No, well, Dolly Parton, yeah, of course. But Dolly's in Nashville.
Yeah, but like go a little further north or whatever.
Yeah.
And you've got yourself north, or is it west?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Either way, we're going to be there. This
We're gonna be
podcast
there.
is already going to be air. We're going to be back by the time this podcast airs because we're recording this on a Tuesday, and this airs next Tuesday. But I'm sure we'll have some reports, and you know what? Let's do some live feeds and stuff like that too, Hudson, while we're there.
Yes, I'm gonna be busy doing a bunch of crazy things, but I will be taking an IMI while I'm there.
That's right. You will be taking the IMI.
I know. I'm finally doing that.
Yeah, we have actually a good class going on in Branson. I was surprised. It was like a last minute type of thing, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. It's like, okay, that'll work.
Yeah, I've been touting saying everyone needs to do the IMI, and then I hadn't taken it, and now I finally get the opportunity to do so.
Yes,
Because I've been spoiled where I do a Tesla service center, and they do all the power downs for me. And if a customer wants it fixed, then I just say take them to Tesla, and they do it for me. And Tesla, my service center seems to really like that.
I'm sure because they get the charge for it and you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll understand it a
yeah.
little bit more after this week is up, and you'll be able to report back to us when we are talking about it in electric vehicles and understand exactly what's going on now. So it's a great class. You'll love it. It's eye opening. It's electric.
Just make sure you bring an apple for the teacher.
Oh yeah,
He likes that.
no, I don't. I don't like any fruit.
No, apple vape juice.
Oh, there you go. Now you're talking.
So gross.
All right. So while you guys are bantering a little bit, I'm going to key up Mr. Renstrom here. Go ahead and talk for a second.
Yeah, I'm already seeing pictures trickle in from SEMA, and I'm like, I wish I was there. So much fun. Have you been to SEMA ever?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I've never had any desire to go because when I was in high school, I helped to rebuild old Trans Ams and Camaros with my stepdad, and so I was super into like car shows and swap meets and all that. But then once I got into the dent world and started working on cars and around them every single day,
You don't like cars anymore.
yeah, I'm just not a car guy anymore. Like it takes a lot because I'm working on a lot of high end stuff that's like super impressive. So,
Yeah, you got to stop saying that. You got to just say I'm a car guy. It benefits you if you.
I definitely am a car guy. Like I love my wife has. She's like, you want a new car every week. I'm like, but did you see that car? It was amazing. Like, and there's a flavor of the week for me every single week. Like right now, I'm obsessed with Audis. And I got to drive a couple. And
I want the big huge sedan with the massaging chair.
The Audi? Did you say?
Yeah.
How did you say it, Hudson?
Audi. I go get one of them Audis.
Have you sat in one of the big sedans with the massaging chair?
No, but I've sat in the Mercedes with the massaging chair.
Yeah, the Mercedes. I've been in those.
Yeah, the S-Class.
Is it? I don't know. I haven't seen the massaging chair in a Mercedes.
The thing I like about the Mercedes chairs is when you take a right or left turn in the S-Classes,
It inflates.
it inflates on
Yeah.
the right side or the left side so that it like holds you in.
Yeah, counterbalance.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Where's
very
Johnny
cool.
Boy?
Johnny
Did
Boy
he not
didn't answer. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't expecting our phone call at 6:00.
He was.
Well, it is an hour ahead, so it's 7:00 there. Maybe he's out to lunch or.
What do you mean it's
dinner.
an hour ahead?
Vegas is an hour, isn't it?
Did they not
I
roll
don't know.
back?
I don't know. What time is it
No.
in Vegas right now?
Well,
No, it should be the same time as California.
Really? Oh, okay.
yeah. Only Arizona doesn't adhere to the.
He's probably huffing it back to the hotel.
Oh yeah. Do you remember? Were you? Yeah.
Yes. That was an adventure.
No, last year, dude. Hudson, you weren't there, but myself and Daniel, Craig Dyer from Anson PDR made us walk from the area, the Audia, all the way to the convention center, right? And then on the way back, we're like, screw that, we're not walking back. So, and we see everyone waiting for Ubers and taxis. We're like, oh, let's go over there where there's no one standing down that street. And we go over to stand on the street, and they're not allowed to pick you up there, right? And taxis are just going boom right past us. Boom. Like, what the hell? How come they're not stopping? They're not allowed to. They have to pick up at certain areas. They can't just randomly pick you up on the street. We didn't know that until we got picked up by a cop.
A random dude.
The random dude that turned out to be an off-duty cop with his two sons in the car. Was there two kids?
Yeah, it's 2 kids.
And they're like, we'll take you wherever you want to go. And we're like, should we get in?
Can you stop at the liquor store? He stops at the liquor store.
We'll buy you a 6-pack.
That reminds me, there was this video of like, I guess it's a thing that people do now is they record themselves everywhere they go. So this woman's like on this like live feed recording, and she's getting into her Uber. And so she gets into this, what she thinks is her Uber. And this is an attractive young lady who's dressed in, you know, how some ladies like to dress. And basically, she thought she got into an Uber, and the guy was like, hey, why are you recording? And she's like, oh, no, it's just me, like a live call with some friends, whatever. And he was like, oh, okay. And like, she basically gets to like talking to him a little bit while on this live feed. And come to find out, like, that wasn't her Uber. She's like, your name's not Clint? He's like, no, it's this. And she's like, basically starts making a connection that this guy was picking up a hooker.
Oh, jeez.
And she thought that he was a hooker. And she's like, let me out now. Let me out. Let me out now. And like, it was, I was like, oh my gosh.
Whoopsie. You young people with your camera phones. Gosh darn it. So anyways, well, John's not on the hook, so we do have other stuff that we wanted to talk about tonight. The other thing was, you know, I see a lot of people glue pulling. I glue pull. I tend to glue pull small dents, big dents. I glue pull smaller dents than I do big dents. Like for example, let me throw out an example. You get a smashed fender. You know, you get the karate chop through the body line. It comes from the edge. It goes all the way to the headlight. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of guys out there glue pulling those first. And me personally, I never, ever glue pull with something that goes through an edge of a fender like that because I'm in fear of it buckling on me. Now, granted, I do have the Dentcraft fender blowout protector tools, but they don't always work in every scenario. And when they're closer to the bumper, they don't really work at all. They could stabilize
now,
one side.
Are you talking like where if you start glue pulling where the
body line is, right?
Where one part of the fender is not really attached because of the design of the car, and you're just going to be pulling on and flexing the whole fender.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Even like if you're looking at the fender, say,
yeah,
you know, let's just for example purpose, say 12 o'clock, you got a dent, a football sized dent through the body line that goes from the edge of the fender all the way up to almost where the hood or where it bends to the hood. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see guys glue pulling those.
Yeah. Well, if you're doing it with the mini lifter, then you're isolating the pull. You know, it's all by case basis, you know, and sometimes I fall in the trap of I will start glue pulling and I keep glue pulling, trying to get as much of the dent out sometimes. And I think to myself that I over glue pulled that time.
Yeah.
That I should have stopped at 1 or 2 pulls and then put a tool in there. And I kind of hit myself for doing that. And, you know,
but you do it over and over and over.
Well, yeah. And you're not getting anywhere and you're just wasting time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I fall in that trap of you're not thinking about it too much, you know.
See, I started all my big stuff now with Glexo.
Yeah.
It's become, and like, I just do Glexo. I feel it's more controlled and it's much more surface area that I'm pulling up. Even if I put a tool underneath there, it's just so much quicker to just get that Glexo. So I go cold glue first, but if it's in like a bind, like we got some crazy crown going on, right? And like a Glexo is just not doing it. Like you pull and it just pops right back.
Yeah.
Then what I'm going to do, what I used to do is I would just get in there with like a doodah or a dent dial with a big tip and I would just muscle it out. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did some work with Naman Razik.
Yep.
You guys probably see him online. He's got all the crazy cars and really great guy. The dude's like a scientist. And so I got to work on I was really excited to work on a hell car with him because I just wanted to see his approach. He's crazy fast and he just has a really unique approach. And his goal is pretty much to never pick up a knockdown ever. And I do a lot of knockdown and blending work. And that's just because I mean, like
why? Knockdown's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing, but for him, it's almost like it's a game, like to push so clean that you don't even need a knockdown.
See, you're a knockdown is.
I could understand that with hail damage, but with like a big dent or like regular dent,
you're gonna have an eyebrow. You gotta be knocked down.
Absolutely, yeah. But like, standard, I'm just saying that's how he would approach like hail damage and stuff. Like if you have a long crease, like he just so he opened up my eyes a little bit of like, okay, maybe I can do a little less knockdown, like corrective knockdown work is what I guess is what I mean.
Right.
What he means.
See,
right. Like
I'm kind of like you, Hudson. I knock down and blend. Like I'm big dents like that. I muscled up right away, but I don't do it with glue because the way I've always been taught and trained years ago, and I still implement it, is I go right for that body line, right? Because the body line, that's where I'm starting to push the dent first. And then once I get the body line going and moving a little bit, then I'll go up to where the crown is at the top, at the peak of the dent, and work that up and start muscling it up around there. And then from there, start blending. And what I'm noticing now, I do start a lot of big dents with cold glue. In fact, I had a Sprinter van with a whole panel. It's the full-size Sprinter van. And from the back door, the sliding door to the taillight had a crease in it. And it was a push-to-paint scenario for my painter anyways. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to try some Glexo and see what happens. I ended up blending out about a 6-foot section with just Glexo and a blending hammer with the new Chronos tip. And because Sprinter metal is terrible on those Sprinter vans. It's very soft. It doesn't have good memory to it at all.
Well, that's because the panels are too big.
They're too big. But there's plenty of body lines to make it rigid. But it's crappy metal. Those things are made for work vehicles. They're not, people make them into
I'm
these
finding
designer
that's
things.
the hardest dents to do right now are on these big, huge panels, like a rear door on a Toyota Tundra.
Yeah,
the panels are huge.
There's no body lines.
There's no integrity in the metal.
I blew this guy's mind today. I was working on a Sprinter van, and he had I just got done working. I had to take my quick bench and extend it to its highest setting, like number 14, to reach these dents on the top.
Yeah.
And so I'm standing on top of that, and he's like, "Hey, I noticed there's a dent behind your light. Can you do anything about that?" I go, "Look, man, these are just natural waves in there, and honestly, that's just pronounced because the sun's hitting it and the metal's expanding, so that dip and that low is getting lower." He's like, "Are you just trying not to do the work or I'm like, no,
yeah,
just how when it gets cold, water, when things get cold, the
metal,
the air constricts, but when it
it does sound like a lot of BS, though,
and I had to prove it to him. I go, look here, let me prove it. I took my window cleaner. I had spray on window cleaner. So it's cold. And I go, look, watch this. I'm going to spray it with this window cleaner where it's cold and it's going to shock it and it's going to make it get cold really quick. And that dent that you see is going to shrink significantly. He goes, no way. I go, just watch. And I go and I put my light back and I spray it with a bunch of window cleaner and I wipe it off and it's gone. Yep. Completely gone.
Yeah.
And the dude was completely just holy moly. I'm like, it's just kind of basic
metallurgy.
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah. And so he was blown away. I go, unfortunately, I could go and try to fix this for you, but
it's gonna come back.
Yeah, it's just gonna come back. Save your money.
Yeah.
And
the point is the Sprinter van metal is terrible. The people who make them into these luxury vans and make them all. Oh, sorry, John's getting back to me. They make them all pretty and conversion vans and stuff, but really they're not. They're made for work. They're single stage paint.
And that's what I was working on. I had it was actually a 3-stage paint, all custom out. Like this dude, his kids are tennis players, and they go to tennis tournaments.
Mm-hmm. And that's where they hang
just
out,
turned it into like the entire back section. Like when you open the back doors, are their own little bitty lockers, like tennis lockers and stuff.
Yeah,
and then they have like all these nice seats and everything. And
yeah, that's cool.
Dang,
they're cool. But I managed to blend out a huge section. It was amazing. My painter comes over. He's like, "Holy crap, dude! How'd you do that?"
You saying black magic juju?
Pretty much. So that the Glexo is for real. So working with that, getting back to what we were talking about, when to glue pull and when not to glue pull. Is there any precedence that you guys have to do one or the other? If it's, if the body line's too smashed, or if it's, trapped metal towards the crown, you're going to push rather than glue pull.
I will say this: it's now based. The way I approach it now is all upon the integrity of the paint. Mm-hmm. If I don't see any paint cracks, any paint scuffs, any paint anything, and I know the paint is OEM legit, I have nothing to worry about. I'm going to glue pull.
You're going to try glue pulling first, huh?
I'm going to bring out my Kiko K beam.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put. And that way, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I'll do the cold glue first to get some of the mass out, and then do some crown work, and I do the back and forth thing. But with the K-beam, I can start bringing that deepest part out, and then while it's got the pressure on the deepest part, I can hit those crowns.
Yeah.
That then and so it's a much cleaner repair.
Yeah.
Versus I can't do that if I'm just doing a muscle out. Like I found out when I was doing the muscle out thing, like on the doodah or the dent dial. I could muscle a lot of it out, but then I was left with a lot of in between work that I have to clean up later.
Sure. Yeah. And that's what, do you use the tactical ball on like the doodah or the dent dial? I know Daniel doesn't have a dent
I
dial.
used to use the tactical. I use tactical ball on like some knockdown work. I don't use it for pushing anymore because I have some little secret prototypes from Hayes Freeman.
Gotcha. Yes.
That I've been using on the doodah that is quite fantastic, and I really hope they make it happen, but we'll see.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, cool. All right, Daniel. So like there's no rhyme or reason really. It's just going to be an individual dent, whether or not you're going to glue pull first or you're going to push.
No, I actually always try to glue pull first. I mean, it's been for the last probably 3 years, I've been automatically going to glue pull first. Try to pull up as much as the dent as softly as I can. I just find it's quicker. What I get in the trap of is I should only glue pull 1, 2, 3 times, and then go push.
So there is that balance there.
Yeah,
it's almost like there's a little bit of a science to knowing when to pull. Like, hey, like with hot glue on this tab, and it's this temperature that day. Like, okay, I should be pulling my tab at like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, or whatever. Then you have to take that same mentality of like, okay, I've pulled this enough. I need to switch to pushing.
Yeah, and my challenge is like my climate around where I'm at. We get really cold mornings, so it can be 40 degrees in the morning, and by 11 o'clock, it's 75 degrees.
Yeah.
So we get these really cold mornings. So, when it's really cold, I don't like pulling when it's really cold. So I'm warming up the panel, and it's not an exact science. When I get into the afternoon, I don't really have to think about it or worry about it. So, it depends on the time of day as well. Yeah. There's so much science into glue pulling, and we've all learned all those little details that matter. But then sometimes I get frustrated when, you get a great pull, and you hear that snap, and you're like, oh, awesome. And then you go do it again, and nothing. It just like fizzles on you, and you're like, it did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what could possibly be the issue with that.
What?
If you have humidity.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
There's some humidity where you are.
There's a little, but not
enough to affect it.
No, very little. Very little out here. hence the fires.
Yeah.
But
we get very little.
yeah.
But
You know what I've been using too? With the fender pliers, I've been using the pivot tips on the R4 for the fender pliers.
I
yeah.
did not think about
Because
that.
I've been using the pivot tips on the tequila rods and on different things. I don't use them for knocking down. I know some people use them for knocking down, but the square ones and the bigger round ones, I've been putting them on my fender pliers and getting them up in there and getting really good,
It's actually
clean
a perfect
results.
tip for the fender pliers.
It is absolutely.
Man, I need to get fender. I finally got the edge pliers. Now I need to hurry up and get the fender pliers.
Well, it is the end of the year coming up, Hudson, and there's time to get all those tools before you have to pay your taxes. Because Hudson is like the king of paying taxes. And,
gosh, dang me.
so
Just word to the wise, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to hire a bookkeeper, make sure they don't store all your tax information on only a USB drive.
have a backup.
Yeah.
So get those tax credits in now. Get those tools before the end of the year. We're in November now, guys. The end of the year is right around the corner. MTE Orlando is like 5 weeks away or something like that. No, not 5 weeks.
Yep.
Like,
You know, random question. Here you go. Random question, gentlemen. Okay, I don't own any Drew's tools. Okay, y'all know Drew's tools?
Drew's tools. What?
Drew's tools.
You don't have any?
I don't have any of his tools.
Okay.
I don't. Not because I've got anything against it. I just don't. I just never. And he's going to be at PDO World Cup. Is there anything that he has that's just kind of stand out that I should pay attention to when I'm there?
Well, everybody loves his one window tool. I mean, that's the one tool that I hear comment, which is very similar to what kind of a tequila tool came out, kind of like
Yeah. Well, isn't your pancake tip that you use on your edge?
Yes.
On your jackhammer, isn't that a Drew's?
Yeah. The flatty. It's called the flatty. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Drew's tool. I have it too. I've now replaced it with other things.
I've got a couple of his hammers. What else I have that I used to love he had a really lightweight carbon hammer. It was like super, super lightweight. It was like the lightest hammer. And I still use that on Subarus. When I have a Subaru, that's my Subaru hammer.
Oh, yeah.
They're so light and so delicate. So I still use that. And I really like that.
I don't really have a lot of Drew's tools. I have the flatty, which I use, but it's been replaced by other tips now. And also I have the slide hammer that looks like a lightsaber. I bought that at MTE years ago when he first came out, the first year that came out.
Yeah, people keep talking about Drew's slide hammer. So I'm going to I know that's one thing I want to look into because I have the Ultradent slide hammer and I love it.
Awesome.
I don't know if you're going to like it compared to that. I don't like it. I've used it maybe a handful of times over since I bought it like 10 years ago.
Okay. I'll take it from you.
It has a very short throw on it, or at least the original ones do. So I guess a lot of hail guys were using it on small, dense, long rails. But you would never use it on like a door ding, or trying to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I was kind of expecting Drew to have some new stuff out because he moved into a new place, and he was talking about revamping up his tool line and everything by moving into this new facility and stuff. But we haven't really seen anything. We didn't see anything new the last MTE.
So maybe we'll see it at PDO World Cup. He'll reveal.
So
yeah,
I'm hoping he does that. You can't see it, and I get to see it.
Yes.
Yeah, you like that.
Yeah. So this is premature then, because really this is coming on out after World Cup, and we'll have to report.
Yeah, right.
So ask the same question, Hudson, next week.
Yes, I'll ask the same question.
Also, I wanted to, before we get off glue pulling, did you guys let's talk about what do you do on a Bodyline? I had a Bodyline dent today, and I was trying to glue pull it, and it was a pretty sharp Bodyline on the rear quarter panel on a Yukon, and I got it all out except for the little pit right on the Bodyline. You got any suggestions there? Anything? Any tips or tricks that any miracle stuff?
I usually go on a
tool
bigger,
cut, right? No, sure.
My thing is like a dead center crease or dead center tab is not going to work on that because it's really tight, right?
Yeah.
So what I usually do, I usually go big, and what I'll do is I'll pull it and extend it, and then what I'll do is color sand, and then knock down just around the perimeter, right? Mm-hmm. So, and that's after going back and forth a few times until I'm at that point where it's like, okay, you know what? It's high. It's micro high right now. I'm going to knock it down while it's high, and then I'm going to go back and knock down right around, the circumference of the low spot, never hitting the center of the low spot.
I tried all that, and it was a black Yukon, like quarter panel, and just you set back a few feet, and it magnifies and didn't look good.
Well, hey Daniel, you are a technician, not a magician.
Yeah. Well, I ended up having to go up in the wheel well and
have some fun with it.
Put a tool on it.
Poke a hole.
I had to put a tool on it. Yeah.
So
you poked a hole, didn't you? You poked a hole, right?
Yep, I did.
Here is my way of doing it. Is I used to get the square locket tabs.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The square locket tabs has a little bit of a convex to it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's like And so what I would do is, say if the convex, how do I explain this so that people listening can understand? Say it's the shape of the U, I would go. God, I can't explain it well. I can't explain it.
You have to show it, huh?
Yeah, I'd have to show it. Like
you guys have seen you've seen the tabs that are shaped for Bodyline.
Yeah, they're garbage.
I've never had luck with them.
I know, okay. but I have a new theory. I have a new way of doing Bodyline dents that is really effective.
Okay.
Dead center tabs, not on the Bodyline. I don't put anything on the Bodyline anymore. I put it directly below the Bodyline and then I do one directly above the Bodyline, never on it.
Right.
And I do a dead center right below it and I pull it hard. And then I do a dead center directly above it and pull it hard. And that typically pulls all of it up together, and then I knock it down even.
Yeah.
And then if I have that pit, I spread it out on the body. I'll spread the Bodyline out with that pit. And then I'll do a dead center right below, pull it, dead center right above, pull it, never on the Bodyline itself. And that usually pulls it up.
I feel like that those tabs that they design for Bodylines, if they were just smooth, they'd work so much better. Like the burrow
grinder to it.
The burrows, they had.
Okay, sorry.
God, you're so late to it, man. It just doesn't work when you're late. And the burrow, and who else? I have some weird green colored ones.
I have clear ones. I have burrow.
Yeah, but none of them are purple. Smooth. Yeah, none of them are smooth though. I want a smooth, Bodyline tab. Someone needs to make it.
I know someone that makes tabs. Maybe I'll talk him into seeing if he could change it.
Yeah, you should. Need a smooth one. See if it works better.
At least try it, right? Make a go of it. See what's going on. So all right. Well, Renstrom is ready for a phone call, so let's call him.
Give him a jing.
Let's call Mr. Renstrom and see what is going on over there in jolly old Las Vegas. Hello, is this John Renstrom?
This is Wow, What a Madhouse.
Oh.
Live from SEMA, John Renstrom.
Live from SEMA. Yeah, we barely escaped with our own teeth. SEMA is packed this year. This is a madhouse.
Really? Is it still going on right now at 6:30?
No, it closed down at 5, but in order to get out, it was a disaster. We had to walk. It was faster for us to walk 6 blocks down to get our ride.
Yeah, well, just don't try getting picked up on the side of the road by a taxi because they won't stop for you.
No, they do not. We actually, the line of traffic was so long, by walking down 6 blocks, we were able to meet our Uber driver before he could even drive the remaining 6 blocks.
And 6 blocks is not a short 6 blocks. It's a long 6 blocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what'd you see at SEMA? Did you get to go around or anything, or are you stuck in the booth?
Right now, we kind of been stuck in the booth. Now we're out in the Performance Pavilion, and I've walked around in the Performance Pavilion. They've got a killer overland set up. Ding King Training is out there, and Ding Tools is out there as far as PDR goes. There's a few buffing companies, a couple of paint companies, and one ceramic coating company out there as well. And tomorrow, we're actually splitting up our booth just a little bit, and we're going to head into some of the North and the West Hall, my wife and I, and meet people and talk to people out there and kind of see some of it. Right outside the Performance Pavilion, they were just smoking the tires off of cars, doing drifting and burnouts.
Yeah.
They were bouncing the cars so hard off the rev limiters that it was sounding almost like gunfire. We had to actually go out to check it out. They were just, I mean, the cars were just bouncing off the rev limiters. It was crazy. They smoked it out so much doing burnouts and drifting in the one parking lot. You couldn't see 5 rows of people in front of you. It was just a solid fog. It was choking you out. We had to actually kind of run for fresh air.
Dude, were they like trying to blow out the tires? Was that the goal?
I think so. I think that was that guy's goal, but it was crazy. So every place is just packed. We got there. I had a meeting early this morning, and we got there right as opening bell, and it was like 50,000 people trying to rush the gate.
Holy cow. That's crazy. Have you come across Dwayne Lagerfield?
Yeah, that's Ding.
Yes.
Ding's Tool.
Yep. Ding Tools. They're in the Performance Pavilion with us. We ran into the world famous Derek Yost.
Oh, yes.
So we hung out and talked with Derek for a little while as well. Otherwise, we've caught up with a few random Mobile Tech RX users. Dent guys stopped by and said hi. So it's been great seeing everybody.
So
we're going to really get into the mix of it.
Crew?
The Kiko crew might be in a different room.
We're hoping to catch them tomorrow. Yep, they're in a different room.
Yeah.
Okay.
With that in mind, so you're seeing a lot of dent guys coming by, huh?
Seeing quite a few. Yeah, I think we've talked to 10 or 12 different dent companies today. So given the size of SEMA and the size of everything that there is, those are pretty good odds to catch those people.
Yeah, that is pretty good odds, definitely. You know, you think, 10 or 12 dent guys, that's like, a little meetup, but, there's a sea of people there.
I think they're saying roughly estimated around 160,000 will attend through this week.
Yeah.
That will attend. That doesn't include all of the people working it.
Wow.
So with Dwayne Langfield's, his Dings, is he just have a similar setup as he had at MTE Vegas? So he's just got some of his tools out there? Like, what is he doing?
Now, he's modified a lot of his tools with all the feedback from Vegas, from everything that you guys gave, and from all of our listeners that have seen his tools. He's got some adjustability into it on the pressure, and they are working on like an automated one. It looks like a giant tattoo gun. So it'll be interesting to see as they perfect that out a little bit. But he's adjusted some of the pressure on it. So talking with him a little bit more on how it was designed. The tool's use is to bring up a large dent at a little faster pace.
Yeah.
And
I don't understand why he's doing SEMA though. I don't get that. I think that was
well. I have 3 of the prototypes. He sent me them about a week ago. I've only had a week to play with them, and they're interesting. I'm still trying to figure it out. I didn't want to bother him right before SEMA week because I'm sure he was super busy. But I have some constructive criticism and some questions for him as to what's going on with it. It does do. One of them does do exactly what it's intended to. So it's just the application wise.
Yeah. I told him if I was a hail guy and I was working on a hood, I would call it my little buddy. It would be something I just kind of keep right there on my little tabletop. And anytime you got a nice dent out in the open, you'd be able to use it.
I don't have shoulders anymore that I can push like that.
Yeah.
I need to have it on a tooltip. Personally, but
so he's got a few changes to it.
Are you going to be able to venture out and see anything?
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon we're going to work our booth. My wife and I are going to work it first thing in the morning, and then at noon we're going to get relieved, and we're going to go out and try to see a bunch of the rest of the show. Go say hi to Chris and them at Kiko, find Cam Auto, say hi to those guys, and see whom else we can catch up with and travel around the show.
Do me a favor, when you go to Cam Auto, they put the ends that screw onto their glue tabs. They finally put one that fits a mini lifter. They have a mini lifter one. Grab a couple of those for me if you can.
All right, I'll see if I can. So.
Yeah, one. I just need one.
Well, I also know, John, before you go, my competitor, not really competitor, but Grip Matt, he's there with the mats.
They're just across the hall from us.
Okay, well, go see him because he's giving out 10-millimeter sockets. What a great idea.
Yeah, I saw he had like 20 of them wrapped up on top of his mats. His mats are like completely different than yours, though.
Yeah. There's no.
Yeah, his are more of a tray.
Yeah.
Designed to hold, bolts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw he has a new green one that looks like my green, so I might have to make an orange mat, Magnatech mat now.
Yeah, orange. Orange.
It looks like his looks like an ashtray.
Yes, he's a super nice guy.
Almost exactly what they look like. Yeah,
he's a really nice guy. I've talked to him privately. Shot knowledge bombs back and forth and stuff. He's a super cool guy.
Nice.
But yeah, go get a 10-millimeter socket for me.
I'll stop and see him tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, cool, John. Well, thanks for joining us for a few minutes here. We're getting near the end of our show, so we're going to be wrapping it up.
Awesome, guys.
Say hi to everyone that we know, and say hi to everyone that we don't.
Yeah. Cool. Take care, guys.
All right, brother.
All right. Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.
That was your live roving reporter from PDR Tool Time.
Sounds like he really didn't have too much time to get around. Or
no.
It's the effect of SEMA, too. When you go there, it's so damn overwhelming because there's so much going on.
You're like a deer in headlights.
I have nothing to report because I've seen...
Squirrel. Look at the squirrel.
Yeah.
So is it like, it's just like, so is it everything? Like
everything automotive.
Everything automotive.
Yeah.
But it's also the greatest car show you've ever been to. It is literally the best car show because you think about these companies are paying these guys to design a car for the show, and they have these unlimited budgets. Yeah. And these guys are cramming to get this car done for the show, and they're putting all their heart and soul into these cars. And you see innovation where you go to regular car shows, you see the same old stuff. But at SEMA, you see new trends. You can kind of see where the trends are going. That you'll see. If big rims are in, or little rims are in, or big tires, or what. You see all these different things like that, and you can kind of see where things are going.
I've got a bad taste in my mouth because every time I get stuck with someone, it's like, "Oh, I got a SEMA build. I need you to come take the dents out."
I get that all the time. Yeah.
That, and like last year, I have an open work order. In my work orders, every time I have a work order in Mobile Tech RX, I have one that's still open, $400 for this dude who had a SEMA build on some stupid little Lexus, and I fixed all these dents, gave him a great discount, and dude, he's like, "Oh, I'll get you." He had to leave, and so I'm still fixing the dents, and then he never shows back up. I couldn't have time to wait around, and then he never pays me. And every time I try texting him or calling him, ghosts.
Poof.
And I just need to delete that work order because every time I see it, I'm like, ugh, SEMA.
Okay, listen, hey, we'll call Ryan because he's built a car for SEMA before. So let's ask him just quickly what it takes, like budget-wise.
What's up, Vinny?
Hey, Ryan, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. We have you live on here with Daniel and Hudson, and we have a question for you that you probably know the answer to.
What's that?
Say hi, everyone.
Hi.
What's up, fellas?
Daniel, say hi to the gentleman.
We can tell that you're very excited right now.
Well, it's 9:30.
I'm always excited.
He's probably ready for
He's
bed.
jammy jams.
So we want to
And
know.
it's
We're
my
just
birthday.
talking to John.
Oh, hold on. It's your birthday?
How come you're not at SEMA?
Yeah.
Oh, it's his birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Why aren't I at SEMA? Because I still have an orange car that's in boxes.
Right.
Oh,
and
no.
that's what we want to talk about. How much does it, on average, how much do you think a SEMA car to get a car ready for SEMA? And you know, obviously there's Japanese ones, there's American ones and stuff like that. How much do you think a company puts into a SEMA car to get it there?
Minimum of $100,000.
Minimum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not counting the cost of car. I mean, some of those, the Ring Brothers cars and stuff, I mean, they've got $1 million in it.
Right.
What?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, like Chip Foose and all those guys. I mean, that Jaguar that's in BASS booth, I bet you easy $1.2, $1.5 million.
wow.
Do you think they ever get that back yet? The money back in that?
An advertisement.
Well,
Well,
it's
what
an
happens is
advertising
you have.
piece.
Yeah, well, what happens is it's actually built for a customer. So you have a customer that goes to Chip and says, "Hey, I want to build this Jaguar." Chip finds a Jaguar, builds it, and it's on like tour for the first 6 months or year, and then the customer gets the car.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they're actually building them for customers.
Right. Like I know I used to do the cars for Alpine Stereo when they went to CES and
Stevie
SEMA.
Brown.
Steve Brown's a good buddy of mine. He actually moved
Yeah,
out of
good
California. Very good dude. And his builds, I remember going and having to work on some of the cars. And it's crunch time. I mean, you got about a year to build a custom car, right?
Yeah.
And dude, you'd swear that it was all done in the last month. It's like, what the hell have you been doing for the last 11 months? Next thing you know, everything goes together and everything's perfect. Or is it really perfect? Or is it SEMA perfect? You know, because I think a lot of those cars, they look pretty, but they might not be very functional.
Yeah, I mean, like the Alpine cars that X5 that they built, I wouldn't drive on the street. You know what I mean?
I worked on that with all the rock stars' faces on the side.
That thing was awesome.
Kurt Cobain had a dent on his face that I had to fix.
That's funny. That had to be fun with all the body filler.
Oh, yeah, it was. I wasn't allowed to drill any holes either.
Now, since we already have Ryan on the show, Ryan, you have a dent on a front fender. Are you going to, a big dent, like the size of a football? Are you going to glue pull it first, or are you going to get in there with a tool and muscle it out?
Cold glue.
There you go.
He's on your camp.
He's in my camp. That's because he's smart. Duh.
Yeah. Let's go with that new Kiwi slide hammer.
Yes.
Easy work.
Money. Now, what if it goes down into the bottom of the fender and you might have a blowout past the body line? You know, that lip of the fender well.
I guess it's a chance you're going to take. You know, I mean, I sometimes do use the Craft edge, kind of the edge holders, but it really depends on the car and accessibility of strapping it down.
Yeah.
Here, this is where I'm going to come back. I meant to come back against you on that, Vince. I meant to come back against you on that. Let me get closer to my microphone.
Thank you.
Is if you're glue pulling and you're on the edge, you don't have to worry about any blowout because you have the mini lifter or the mini bridge holding those edges down and pulling. So that's another reason why I'd go with glue pulling.
Right. But like what I was saying earlier is that I've now started to use the fender pliers on that body line. From the body line, I'll go up a little bit above it and below it as well, using the pivot tips on the fender pliers.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of the times when it's just, how many times have you pushed too hard and next thing you know, the kink comes from the fender and then you're sitting there wasting 15, 20 minutes trying to straighten out a kink and then you go back to pushing on the dent and then the kink just comes right back. You know,
that's never happened. Never happened. I'm not
those fender pliers is a speed demon on dents. I mean, you end up, a dent that you would have on like a Honda Bodyline on a front fender and you take those fender pliers, you're guaranteed to cut your time in half.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And that's why I want you guys to try out the pivot tips on it. The flat, the rectangular ones are awesome when you're trying to move them out along there. So.
Yep.
So the new ones you're saying?
Yes. Yeah. They fit on the R4s, replacing the cherry cap with the pivot tip.
Are you using the black rubber ones?
The black rubber ones were prototypes, buddy, that we had. The official ones are blue.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, Ryan, happy birthday, bud. What are you?
I think 42.
42. I remember 42.
Baby.
Yeah.
Life begins at 40.
I sound like a transformer when I get out of bed.
Dude, it sounds like I have a sack of nickels in my pocket when I get out of bed.
See, I don't even get out of bed. I have to take 2 Advil and then wait for that to kick in.
And then the CBD.
And then some CBD and then some C4. And then I can get out of bed.
And he has one of those electric
one
beds.
of those recliners.
Yes.
I do
has one of those recliners that stand them up.
Yep. I have that too.
I've got one. Hey, I've got one of those adjustable base beds. I'm never going back, man.
Oh yeah, it's the best, right?
It's the best. Like it's just when you get sick, and you just need to be elevated a little bit so you're not like dying from congestion.
Yeah,
it's money.
So, we're over here holding Ryan on the line, and it's his birthday.
Yeah, Ryan, we'll let you go, brother.
All right, man.
We're just
you guys have a great night.
Yeah, thanks for taking the call.
Bye.
All right,
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Okay, so $100,000 minimum.
I love teasing Ryan, man. He's his personality is just so even. It's just so, he's the guy you want in a crisis.
We should call him Zoloft.
Oh my God, the building's falling down, the fire. Oh, we're going to get killed. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so chill. But you know what? I bet you if something was to go down, Ryan could rip someone's face off.
Yeah.
In a second.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I know I'm right. I mean, I hope to never be in that kind of situation.
No.
But
Yeah.
I think we should call him Zoloft. What's up, Zoloft?
What's up, Z? What up, Z?
Yeah, we'll call him Z.
Z.
Okay, don't tell anybody why we're calling him Z.
Right.
He won't listen to this. So
Yeah.
everybody call him Z from now on.
Okay, well, listen, guys, this is going to bring us to the end of our podcast. Once again, we're providing this awesome content. Leave us some comments, questions, and we don't have anything to give away this week, so you don't have to listen to the whole ending. You could cut out right now and not listen to any more.
Oh, you know what? How about I can give away an inspection wedge sticker.
Oh, an inspection wedge sticker.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If you want an inspection wedge sticker, no.
So, anyways, well, thanks for listening, everyone, and all our international people. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know we see you guys out there. We try not to forget about you guys, and take it away.
You guys need to our international people need to participate a little bit more on PDR Tool Time and put themselves out there. I think they just cruise and read and listen. They don't.
It's because they're awake while we're asleep.
Yeah,
poor guys.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Daniel,
all right, guys, level up your tools and bench grind everything,
and keep it stiff. I almost forgot. I almost said, "Don't do stupid stuff" for John Renstrom. All right, thanks for listening, all.
Bye.
For current discount codes, visit PDRTooltime.com. Sponsors like Hog Glue and Hog Tabs, making your job easy. Found at HansonPDR.com.
Magnetech Mat, magnetic utility tool mat. Version 2 is now available.
And Mobile Tech RX, the app that makes you money.
Hey, why are you guys still listening? Why are you still listening? We got nothing to give away. Nothing this week. Maybe tune in next week and we might have something for you.
Hey, if you PM me, I'll send you an inspection wedge sticker.
All right.